Al Haymon going full board, calling Terence Crawford's bluff. As you have Tyszyu and Sebastian Fundura saying, "Where'd you go, bud? You doing a lot of talking." Let's talk about that in this video. Terence Bud Crawford is, in my opinion, the king of boxing in that squared circle. One of the biggest names in boxing outside the squared circle, but without a doubt, in my opinion, inside the squared circle, Bud's the man. Bud is the man. However, being the man comes with certain duties, and it comes with certain risks and dangers. And some of those dangers include moving up into a weight class where people ain't scared of you. And that is what's going on with Terence Crawford, apparently. And I got to tell you, I didn't see this coming. As Tyszyu makes it 100% apparent what he wants to do next after he fights Murtazaliev, I do believe on this weekend, Saturday, just a couple days from now, he says it's Terence Crawford for him next for the IBF title. And Sebastian Fundura said the same thing. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really makes a huge difference to the channel. But let's get into this. 154 pounds right now is not stacked. There's a lot of parity in that division. I wouldn't say it's stacked. I would say there's a lot of parity in that division. And the parity in the division comes from the fact that you really do have some of the best fighters in that division who have come up in weight. The key one right now, obviously, is Terence Crawford, who is one of the WBA champion, is a WBA champion. And when he moved up, a lot of people thought, okay, yeah, this is going to be him, Jermell Charlo, undisputed, get this done. But after Jermell had all of his belts distributed when he took his time off, Tyszyu got his hand on a belt. Sebastian Fundura got his hand on a belt, 2 belts. Tyszyu right now is going to fight for the IBF belt. So he will have another one. So what do you see for Terence Crawford? Terence Crawford is now really, for every belt in that division, has very, very stiff competition for him that, let me be very clear, are not lucrative fights. In and of themselves, unless somebody, puts a kickstand on that, puts a monetary kickstand on that event, and by that I mean propping it up and losing a ton of money so Bud can get paid. Monetarily, not huge fights, can be profitable for sure if put together. But Tyszyu and Terence Crawford, that's not a monetarily huge fight, but it's a dangerous fight for Terence Crawford for sure. And Tyszyu is very set on it. He's like, no, I want him. I'm not running from that. I want that. Now, why should Terence Crawford fans be concerned? Terence Crawford fans should be concerned because Terence Crawford is not going to be bowling over Tyszyu. He is not going to be bowling over and picking up and just amping it up on Tyszyu. That is a big, 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 big boy who can fight and who is very strong. And let me tell you, he's young. So if Terence Crawford in any way, shape, or form dips, that's difficulties. And you got to understand, he also has to fight these guys relatively fast. He already fought one time this year, right? When he was 36, he'll be almost 38 because he's 37 now. He'll be almost 38 if he waits a year to fight. If he waits 2, he'll be 39. At 39 in 2 years at 154, that's okay, with a guy like Sebastian Fundura, if he can still be at the weight class, Tyszyu, Jaron Ennis, if he moves up. But I do want to point this out, that we find this is very, very interesting situation because Al Haymon really does have Terence Crawford pretty much surrounded. Similar to the way that Bob Arum has, in a large way, has Gervonta surrounded at lightweight. They have all of the contenders and they have all the other champions around you that you want to fight. So if you want to do business with them, you got to do business with them. The difference with Gervonta is Gervonta can earn the money himself. You can't really freeze him out because he doesn't need turkey, right? He doesn't need a kickstand on his fights. Terence Crawford needs a kickstand on his fight, right? For him to get $10, $15 million. And kickstand again, I mean, if you guys don't ride bikes, a kickstand is that little thing you kick and it makes your bike stand up, right? So if you want to have a fight, but hey, it's going to tip over because, hey, I want so much money and this guy ain't going to get no money. Boom, lost money. Your bike tips over. Put that kickstand on. It means, hey, Turkey says, I'll pay for everything. Don't worry about it. So maybe that will work. But still, with the belts being held by PBC fighters, the WBO is held by a PBC fighter. The WBC is held by a PBC fighter. The IBF is held by a PBC fighter. None of these fighters are named Errol Spence either. And then on top of that, you've got Jermell Charlo, who's coming back. So Jermell can immediately step in on that WBA for that WBA belt. He can also immediately step in for that WBC belt. He should have been able to immediately step in for the WBO belt, right? But the WBO is never going to let him do it because the WBO, in my opinion, does not really like the PBC. But at the end of the day, this is something for Terence Crawford where Terence Crawford is going to have to SHIT or get off the pot. But I'm already going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that Terence Crawford is going to get off the pot. And what he's going to do is he's going to let all these guys fight each other. And when these guys all fight each other, right? Errol fights Sebastian Fundura. If Errol gets past Sebastian Fundura, then Errol's probably going to be the one to fight Tim Tszyu, right? And then after Errol fights Tim Tszyu, then Terence will come out and say, okay, well, let me wrap it all up here. That is probably what Terence Crawford's going to want to do. He's probably going to want everybody else to fight it out. That's why he was okay with not pushing for that mandatory for Sebastian Fundura. Also, the negotiations to get Sebastian Fundura is going to be difficult because guess what they're going to do? Because they know your money is Turkey Al-Sheikh. Whoop. They're going to escalate that. They're going to escalate those prices on you. They're going to escalate the prices on you. So once they escalate the prices on you, raise the price on Turkey, and Turkey, I don't know about this, right? You're going to have a layoff. But whatever the case is, Terence Crawford is going to have to do something soon. The WBO trying to hold up Errol Spence Jr. and Sebastian Fundura is not going to work. The sanctioning bodies only have so much power. Because truth be told, if the WBO takes the belt away from Sebastian Fundura, you're just saving him 3% on his purse. And again, like I said in other videos, the only thing that's going to happen if you take away that WBA, if you take away the WBA trinket, you take away that, if you take away that WBO trinket from the fight with Sebastian Fundura, what do you think he's going to do? They're going to create a Today is Saturday belt with the WBC, and they're going to let him put 2 of those belts on. So you're in the picture, you're going to look like you own 4 championships anyway. And honestly, that's all it's really worth anyway. But anyway, I used anyway way too many times. Sorry, I got to get that word out of my verbiage. But message to Terence Crawford is, hey man, SHIT or get off the pot. But I hope he just stays on the pot and fights these guys. I want to see him fight Sebastian Fundura. I wouldn't have minded seeing Terence Crawford fight Sebastian Fundura before Errol did. If Errol could have got just like a real easy tune-up, and I mean an easy money tune-up, right? Get an easy money tune-up, get back in while Terence Crawford fights Sebastian Fundura, and then he comes back and gets the winner or whatever. I would have loved that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.